I feel like I've made it clear at this point that I'm not exactly a fan of the direction that Studio Orange is taking Trigun Stampede, because, not to mention, many people, such as I, grew up loving the original Trigun anime, which this is a heavy departure for. One, look at Vash's design, his hair. To be fair, it's very K-pop looking, Justin Bieber, Machine Gun Kelly, whatever. But in the like 90s, 2000s, Vash's hair was spiked up, kind of a staple of that time period. But it's still not Vash, right? It's not Vash from the original manga and the original anime. So it's not the same. Why change it? Is it just easier to animate in 3D when it's not standing up? Like, do you want to like just show off some like cool hair physics? Well, we'll get to the animation later, but I must say I did actually decide to just lay on the couch, just watch the first episode right after I did Nier Automata version 1.1 or whatever the anime is called. I was like, okay, we're just gonna binge both of them back to back. Yeah, I mean, of course I prefer Nier Automata, but I must say I was expecting to hate this a lot more than I actually did. I make YouTube content hating on anime for a living. Of course I had to hate it, but actually I there were things I did hate about it. I couldn't come so far to say I absolutely hated every single part of it. Just expect it's not gonna be your dad's Trigun. It's not gonna be the 90s Trigun. This is the 2020s, like 25 years later. So obviously, you have to make it for a new audience, for the Zoomers can understand it and not have their attention ripped away. So, yeah, I don't understand why the tone of this series seems to be going a very different direction. They're leaning much harder into the sci-fi element, which wasn't really introduced until halfway through the original Trigun, and before that, it was like purely Western. There is some Western elements, but it just seems like more sci-fi taken from Dune and Star Wars more than anything Western. I think the soundtrack definitely plays a big role into that, because it doesn't feel Western, especially in the soundtrack, because the original. Oh, don't tell me that's not Western. The original, very Western. This is straight up is not. So I do have some more images to file out my points. So yeah, another pointless change that they made. Why does Vash have 22 caliber bullet? This really isn't all that important, really. Maybe it is for the manga readers. I don't know why they had to change this. And also, yeah, I'm still not getting behind this design. Just look, it looks better in motion, but still, I want to be able to like screenshot, this goes hard. Feel free to screenshot that. It just doesn't look like Vash. It just all the edge, and then there's another look at the hand right there. Not much of a. Just another indication that they're leaning into the sci-fi element. And but for the animation, I must say I won't be able to play it because copyright, because of course. But the animation is actually quite solid, I must say. The faces are they're actually expressing, they're emoting, and these are 3D models. Very, I guess that's the standard, the bar stand. I have heard that from people that have watched other Studio Orange projects that this isn't up to par with what they do. I'm not too familiar with Studio Orange, so I can't really speak on that myself. I was impressed with the animation that they pulled off here. So it's smooth. It looks good in motion, I guess. Her redesign's a little unnecessary. I prefer the original. What'd you think? I prefer the original design. I see. I think the main reason people have a problem with this is that it's it's redesigning too much, because the original one, like, you could consider that like a Full Metal Alchemist 2003 before Full Metal Alchemist 2003, because the manga wasn't finished and it just went off in its own direction. The manga would not be finished until 2007, I believe, with Trigun Maximum. And that for the most part has not been adapted, right? So just like get Madhouse, yeah, because they did the original Trigun, and they do some solid stuff now, right? Death Note, that's like 15 years ago, but still. And One Punch Man from like 6 years ago. I don't even know what they're doing now currently. Why couldn't have Studio Madhouse done this? I don't know why can't we just like have like a faithful to the manga adaptation? I think that'd be pretty cool, but I guess we're not gonna get it. Who knows how long this goes. Maybe Trigun will just be berserk, but when it comes to the adaptations, I mean, we're already following through with the pattern, because there's like the 90s anime for Berserk. Both had Trigun had one movie, but Berserk had like a trilogy of movies in like the late 2000s, I want to say. And then now Berserk 2016, and then Trigun Maximum. So it might be mirroring it perfectly. I think I just accidentally big brained myself here. I think I might have just big brained myself here. Okay, let's continue. Oh, okay. This just reminded me. So the opening scene is Rem dying in the whole explosion of the whole colony thing. Yeah, and then we see Knives in the beginning, and also Knives is referenced in the end. Yeah, I should have mentioned spoilers for the original Trigun, but I understand what they're trying to go with here. Because, for example, Full Metal Alchemist, the first page, it's a flashback to the transmutation where Ed lost his arm, but we get much less context of that than in here, where the first scene we literally see Rem, Vash, and Knives fleeing to the escape pod, and then Knives and Vash escape. Rem does not. So that's just covered up instantly. I thought the one of the coolest episodes of the original Trigun was where you saw that flashback in full. There's too much context here for it to like not for it to be like mystifying, but there's not enough context for me to actually care about Rem. And in the event where I'm pretty sure this is going to happen, where the full context of it is explored, there's going to be like a whole flashback sequence. Then, as Rem dying is not going to have all that emotional weight. To be fair, in the original, it could have been assumed Rem died, but we didn't know. Like, that was also revealed that Vash had a brother and he was bad. And this is already setting up. This first episode already sets up Knives being the main bad guy throughout this at least season, which. Yeah, I guess. I feel like they could have done this right if they established Knives as a bad guy, but the scene with him with Knives on the piano, that was cool. And apparently he doesn't do that until way later in the manga, at least from what my expert told me. But I feel like having this scene just kind of like demystifies him as a villain, which we'll see more of it, but I don't like this direction. Dare I say, I prefer the original better, but I think this would have worked without this scene, or maybe just like unknown. Yeah. To be fair, we did see this in the trailer, and then what's her name? Callie? No, I'm thinking of Splatoon. What the hell is her name? Yeah, so Best Girl, Best Girl has been replaced by this guy. I don't think we really got his name here. I don't remember off the top of my head. But to be fair, I do like him as a character from what we see so far. He is funny, and Best Girl was comedy relief in the original. He kind of is, but in a completely different way. I don't know if he carries the big Gatling gun. It just won't be as funny. You're kind of expecting it. You wouldn't expect her, Best Girl, to be carrying a Gatling gun. So he does. I don't know. I like him. I would be very much less mad about this if it was, if Best Girl was still in here, but I don't think she is. I think she's completely removed for some reason. And, I keep going about the direction. Everything else is fine. The voice acting's good. The animation's pretty good. It's just the direction of it. And so I bring you to this. So the third paragraph here, Marvel and DC's regular rebooting of their superhero characters was one of Takai's inspirations on how to make a new adaptation of Trigun. He was inspired to do this reboot because Vash the Stampede is his personal hero, akin to how others might view Batman or Spider-Man. As passionate as Takai is, he said, "I think everyone at Orange right now is at the same level as passion." So this is literally the Amazing Spider-Man to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and some Spider-Man purists may kind of disregard that. I know if you're if you be a big nerd about it, that Tobey Maguire is like the least accurate Spider-Man to the comics, depending on which comic. But you know what I'm talking about. So. Okay, let's move on to the fourth paragraph here. The pitch documents for Trigun Stampede include concept art illustrating the conclusion of Trigun Maximum, which was shown at the panel. This was to emphasize that this new anime will be able to adapt the entire manga plotline, unlike the 1998 anime, which was made while the manga was still in progress. So enough is being changed, but then again, still sticking to the plotline. I would kind of respect a little more if it kind of went off its own direction. If you're going to change so much as the design of the main guy, that does just the whole design of the guy, okay, and like crucial characters. Oh, just wait until Wolfwood's introduced. I saw a still image of him. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as Vash's redesign. Still, kind of missing that personality. So. Yeah, this is just my thoughts of the first episode of Trigun Stampede so far. I can appreciate it as its own thing, but if you watched Trigun previously, it's just not the same tonally. So yeah, so those are just my thoughts. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. All right, and also become a member today for some exclusive content. And when you're in my live chat, you're gonna be able to put in some emotes, some custom emotes. So that'll be very cool. So hope you all have a good one. Peace out.